All right, everybody, welcome to the Daily Czabecast, your 3.5 minutes of love, and the 3.5 minutes you'll never get back. But we're going to make it fun for you. Czabe, Scott Lynn, Al Galdi here. I've got a terrible story from Maine.
Great.
Which I know, it's terrible for, not for my in-laws, because they're not in this business.
Okay,
they
good.
are former innkeepers from Maine, but they like to talk about this. The price of lobster is cratering. You think that the price of oil plummeting is bad for those that sell oil?
Mm-hmm.
Well, lobsters are cratering as well. How do you like that? A bruised and battered economy is threatening the very livelihood of local lobstermen. By the way, for the record, I have heard for years from my in-laws, God bless them, that the lobstermen of the Northeast Coast have been barely getting by all these years.
Is that right? Sure, it's the lobstermen and the crabbers of the Mid-Atlantic, yada, yada, yada.
Well, it's
struggling.
like, lobster yields are down. It's harder and harder to find them in the pots and da-da-da. And they,
It's because Kramer's stealing all of them, for God's sakes. There's
Exactly.
illegal activities going out there by the shore. You got to watch those guys pulling the cord.
Right. But now they say that because the economy is tanked and people are not indulging
It's a
as much.
luxury item. You know that.
Of course it is. I've always felt lobster was overpriced. Always.
Well,
absolutely.
I'm not really a shellfish guy. I hear it's great and people love it. But
not
it has
as
been a
great.
luxury item.
It's not
No.
as great
Not as great as
it's been
shrimp?
portrayed.
No, it's
Yeah, I don't understand. I never understood. I would always go up to Maine to my in-laws, and I'd be like, it's great. I'm going to get some local lobster. I'm going to eat lobster every day, lobster roll.
The other thing about it, too, is,
lobster.
and help me with this, Galdi, because I know you're a big fan of lobster, and Czabe, as are you. People are like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to go out and get the biggest lobster possible. The bigger the lobster, the tougher the
it
tail.
is, allegedly.
So,
yeah.
the 1.5, 2 pound size
Even
is
the most-
usually good, and that's priced, quote unquote, accordingly. Why do you want a 5-pound lobster for $67? You're going to have to gnaw on the tail.
You got to raise your own, like Homer did. He fed it himself, he nurtured it, and finally he ate it.
He said, I'll call you Mr. Pinchy.
That's right.
I'm going to put the lobster in the tank with my kids'
And
betas.
he had to eat it. He was like, "Oh, I miss you, Pinchy."
Remember the ginormous lobster that was given a pardon on like the Today Show or something? It was
years
the
ago,
biggest
they did
lobster
the-
they ever saw. It was like the size of a Volkswagen Beetle.
Years ago on Saturday Night Live, they did Larry the Lobster. I believe it was.
That's right, yes.
And they did
Yes.
what's his name? Tony Rosado with Larry the Lobster.
I remember that.
Let's boil that sucker, huh? Something
Yeah.
like that. And they had people call in. It was interesting. Zabe, quick true or false for you.
Yeah.
One of my early jobs pre-radio, I used to sell lobster out of the back of trucks on
Get
Saturdays.
out.
It's
True.
true.
Kidding.
True,
One of the
wow.
summer of cicadas in and around D.C. in the late 80s.
Lobster here.
I didn't call.
Get
It
your
just-
lobster.
we got up really early in the morning. We met the people at the boats, and I would peg them or band them. It was a whole hell of a
You
lot
must
of
have
fun.
stunk after the end
I
of the day.
smelled like holy hell.
Lobsterman, the price per pound in Boston has gone down from $4 a pound to $2.80. Pretty soon it's going to cost less than chicken. You're going to have lobster nuggets.
You could fill your gas tank with lobster, apparently. Is that true?
Says Lobsterman hope consumers will increase demand soon. Quote, go right on down to your local harbor and knock on the back of a boat and say, I'd like to buy some lobsters.
Hello, I'm Pinchy.
He says a 1-pound lobster off the back of a lobster boat is cheaper than an ice cream cone. But is it good on a hot day? Probably not so much. And you have to cook it and crack it and then wipe the stank of ocean off your fingers.
Wrap yourself in kelp, don't forget.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Go eat some lobsters. Help the economy. We'll see you next time.